Welcome to Supplement Factory today, Josh. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Opportunity for us to have a conversation about your project and where we see it going forward. So we'll kick off from the top. What inspired you to start this project?
I think the inspiration came quite organically, to be honest. It was a conversation between me and a friend of mine. We've been training maybe about 15 years now, which is crazy. And we've always taken supplements, pre-workout supplements, but this is for traditional gym training. So you go in the gym, 15 minutes before, you take the face scratching stuff. You get in there and you spend an hour and a half and you leave. And then recently, I think as everybody did in lockdown, people started running. People got more into the endurance space, and it's boomed since then, I think. And then around a year ago, we were having a conversation around the fact that there doesn't seem to be a product or a pre-workout product specifically for endurance athletes, and then within that, runners. And as soon as we had that conversation, it was like, oh wow, there's not necessarily a new product here, but there's a new market.
Yeah.
Which is the exciting thing, I think. It's niche, again, not in the product, but in the market. And I think if you can throw a few tweaks in there and just make it bespoke for runners, so things like your electrolytes, take some of the other bits out that you don't particularly need, pump the face scratchy stuff, then I think you've got a really good product that can be marketed to a new segment of people that do have quite a high propensity to buy supplement products. So that's where the idea came from. The name Prerun. I think we were on the motorway driving home from London from another job, and we were just spitballing ideas, and then the name Prerun came about, as in pre-run. Very simple. It's like taking the pre-workout side of it and just applying it to runners. So that's where it's come from.
Fantastic. It's good to see that you're finding that gap, because as you say, there's so many other industries out there that are looking for the niches out there, and I must admit, I've never seen anybody actually consider that factor of sport. So what's the bigger picture? Where do you see yourself taking the brand from the humble beginnings, I suppose?
I think exactly that. I think it's very small. Now, this is a product first business. There's no audience. I don't have an audience on any platform at the moment. So it's about, how do I produce the product and make it the best it possibly can be, given that it's the first iteration of the product, then build an audience off the back of it, rather than what most or a lot of other products are now, which is absolutely fine, but it tends to be audience first, product afterwards, and then you capitalize on that. What I need to do first is build that audience, and that can be through social media channels, it can be through partners, it can be through individual sales of supplements. And then once it's known, I think then probably building second, third, fourth line products to support the runner. Because the brand for me is, how do we support the runner, improve their performance? So that's where it has to go. Every question has to come back to, does this improve performance in running? And if the answer is yes, let's explore it. If the answer is no, then we go back to the drawing board. So find the audience, build the products, and create the brand.
Fantastic. And like you say, through further education as well, with the audience out there, you can further show the benefits of your brand. It's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
I know you said about spitballing in the car, but was there sort of like a pin drop moment prior to that where you're like, actually, there's something here that we can make work?
I think for me, it does. The memory, at least, always comes back to that conversation in the car. And I think as many people have, I've wanted a product business. I've had this idea in my head of, what is the thing that I can produce and I can improve customers or improve consumers, or how do I produce a product that brings value to customers? That could be in any market, any industry. And I've never really had a moment where I'm like, this is the thing. That conversation in the car, it was like, this is the thing. And no moment is perfect, in my opinion. So if you wait for the perfect moment, it will never come. You will never do the thing. This for me was as close as perfect as it's come. So that was the pin drop. And then from that, it's taken some time, but that's okay. I'm patient. I'm not trying to, rush this out of the door. It has taken time, but I'm happy with where the last 12 months have gone, where the conversations I've had, and there seems to be a real, genuine excitement amongst the people I've discussed this with for Prerun, and I'm excited to take that to the masses.
It's coming as a game changer, really, that you're finally finding a way of channeling into a new market. How do you see it shaking up the industry moving forward?
I think you're going to, and again, this is going to be fine, but I think you're going to see a lot of competition quite early doors because, again, this is not a new product. This is not going to be hard for people to replicate. I think the quality that we've put into this product will be hard to replicate. I genuinely believe that. And I think some people may cut corners in order to get a product out quickly to hit the same market that we're hitting. In terms of the absolute cost of production, we could have brought that down massively by reducing the quality and the quantity of some of the things we've included, but we've chosen not to do that because, again, it has to be perfect. So I think the unique selling point is both the name. I think that's quite a good name in terms of Prerun, and I think the quality of the product is so high that once people try it, then they're going to use the product.
So fast forwarding a few years into the future, obviously you've built your brand, you're building your audience. Where do you see the project going from there? Now, again, you've touched about obviously expanding, but what's the dream? What's the dream finish line for you?
The dream finish line in terms of pre-run, I'm not sure there is necessarily a finish line. I think there's a scale and there's a linear progression between where it is now and where it can get to. I love the stuff that some of the companies have done where they've sponsored certain running events. You talk about TCS London Marathon, but TCS is now a brand. It's a huge brand, and that's been delivered through things like the London Marathon, New York Marathon, and because they're doing huge things. I would love to support events. One of my favourite events is the Yorkshire Marathon. The York Marathon. It's where I completed my first marathon. Best friend completed his first marathon there. My fiancée, she completed her first marathon there. I went to York University. So I would love to have a big involvement in, I think it's part of the Run for All Jane Tomlinson organisation. I'd love to do something with that and then get to a point where it's a household name. I think that's surely the ambition of most small companies to begin with. But yeah, let's get everybody using Prerun. I mean, it genuinely works.
Absolutely. No, it's just good to hear. So obviously we're talking about the story, we're talking about the journey, and there's a lot of excitement, and I'm very excited to see your success. But what challenges do you anticipate? Because every road has a hurdle, and every journey has a bump. What do you see the challenges being, and what excites you and drives you to overcome them?
I think firstly, acknowledging there are going to be challenges. I think that's the biggest thing, and I think being patient. So I'm relatively patient with this. I'm not trying to rush anything out of the door. So I think approaching challenges as they are going to be there. They're going to be hurdles, but they're going to be the things that improve this in the long run. And I'm quite stoic in that if a challenge does present itself, I boil it down to the facts of the. I don't tend to get emotional about these things. It kind of is where it is, and then you move forward. In terms of challenges, what do I foresee? At the moment, I don't know what I don't know, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It's just an acknowledgement that there will be challenges, and I'm happy to work through them. And I'd rather work through them in the right way than try skip and dodge around things to get things out faster, because I truly believe that that will come catch up with you at a
Absolutely.
later date.
Absolutely. And for us, we've discussed many times how important it is for us to help you achieve that success through the quality and the service that we want to provide you. What do you see that we can do for you to help achieve the success for you as your brand and as your project?
So as you know, I've spoke with a number of manufacturers, and I've most certainly settled on Supplement Factory as the chosen partner. The reason for that is I think the honesty. I think we spoke about it a few times today, that the honesty of this is what we can do, this is what we can't do, and speaking to a human rather than speaking to somewhat of a process. This is what will happen. That's been great. I think your level of listening to what I as the customer want for this product has been huge for me, because it means that, again, we can produce the quality of the product that I intend to produce, rather than you saying, but we can use this ingredient and it'll save you this and it'll be faster. And I don't necessarily want to hear, I want to hear it, but I don't want that to be the solution. So I think the level of listening that Supplement Factory and yourself, Ryan, have put into this, and then the rest of the team that I've worked with have been fantastic. They've brought forward fantastic ideas that I am not a specialist in any of the ingredients side, but it feels like you have people on board that are specialists at this, and having that in my arsenal and including you as a partner rather than just a manufacturer, I think is a massive part of what we're doing here, because the only way I win is if I bring you on board fully, and if I win, you win, and I think that partnership can go on to do great things.
Absolutely. And as we've said many a time, at the end of the day, we want to help you build that success. We want to help you grow with you,
Yep.
and build that future with you. Like I say, we will always advise you the best possible way that we can, but ultimately, we will give you the information, but we will listen to your judgment at the end of the day.
Yep.
Josh, it's been brilliant.
Yep.
And I look forward to keep working with you in the future, and hopefully we can make continued success for you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much.